stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, my fellow trudgers. I hope you are having a good weekend. Happy weekend. I have a cat. He very much wants it in here. It is cold in here. It's because I have the room shut off because these lights all fell and I don't want the cats to play with them, but I am cutting them down next. It's not worth it. Means I'm going to have to clean the whole edge, put up double-sided tape. Nah. Might as well just let the cat in because otherwise he's just going to sit there and moan and cry and whine. All right, come on, kittens. Come on. I know what you want. It's warm enough. Let's do it. We'll probably warm it up in here anyway. So there you go. Just don't play with the string, okay? Just don't play with the string and you can be in here. So, all right. They're not going to listen. You want to know why? They don't speak English. No. No, they don't speak English. They know their names. They know when I get mad. That's about it. Cats understand you. They just don't care. Just don't give a fuck. Like your feelings? You have feelings? Cool. Well, I need to be fed. So, but happy Saturday. Is it? Yeah, I kind of slept in. I didn't mean to, though. I didn't mean to. I wanted to get some other stuff done today, but if I could turn back time, it's time to shave my head again. If I could find a way. Okay. Try being I'm in a decent mood. I woke up wanting to. My first reaction was just to burn the world down. I don't like light. Please face your problems. You don't want to go through this shit. All right. We're talking about gratitude today and how it should go forward. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Pay It Forward, but AA is the ultimate Pay It Forward program. What does Pay It Forward mean? Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm going to be your host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Darius is a good name. I like that name. A name that starts with D is pretty much okay with me. Especially if their name is Dion. Then they have a really cool name. But it's got to be DION for it to be extra cool. So, okay. Yeah, we're the ultimate Pay It Forward program. What is Pay It Forward? It means giving freely of what was given to you. That's all it is. Quite simple. It's not going to be as easy as you think. These things never are. They never are. And let's get to it. All right. We're going to start in As Bill season. We're going to be going to the 12 by 12, I believe. Yep. So, gratitude should go forward rather than backward. Okay. This is why. Okay, I am grateful I have a roof over my head. I do not have gratitude for it, though. That is backward thinking. That's going backwards. And the reason for me, and it's for me, okay, I don't expect everybody else to think like this, okay, but it is hard for me to be grateful to have a house or a roof over my head when I know that there are people who do not, and I can do something about it. I'm not as grateful anymore. See, I want everybody to have a roof over their head. Then I'll be grateful. Then I'll be grateful for it. But it's hard for me to have gratitude to have something somebody else does not. To me, that doesn't feel like gratitude. It feels like superiority. That is me. Okay. And the reason I'm saying that is because there may be other people out there that feel that way. And I want you to know it's not wrong. Okay. It's just how you feel. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, you may feel, hey, you know what? I really appreciate, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Your feelings are valid. It's still gratitude. I'm not going to take that away. Mm-mm. You didn't live the life I lived. I didn't live the life you lived. I didn't walk in your shoes. I don't know how you're going to feel. Right? So that goes along with, let people be. In other words, if you carry the message to still others, you will be making the best possible repayment for the help given to you. Forward. You don't pay it backward. Don't give your gratitude to your sponsor. Don't give your gratitude to the people that are recovered in the program. Give your gratitude to the new person. That's what they're saying. That's where because what happens for us is we go through the day and then we have these extra dividends. That's what we're usually working with here. And these extra dividends usually come in the form of gratitude, love, joy, okay? And these are extra. So we give those extra feelings away. Okay? Is that how it actually happens? I don't know, but it's a good explanation. And it works. Okay. There was a squirrel? All right. Well, there will be no book beating today. Okay. There will be no book beating today. All right. Now we're going to go to the 12 by 12, page 110. Now it's getting warm enough in here. Probably because I opened the window. So. Practically, every AA member declares that no satisfaction has been deeper and no joy greater than a 12th step job well done. Who here has been on a 12th step call? I have. You ever been on a 12th step call? We don't do them really anymore. Now we have what's called night watch, and everybody does it together because people don't call AA like they used to. Okay, so you got to think outside the box here. You got to go outside the box to find these newcomers. I have a How It Works meeting, and there are newcomers there every single day. That's how I'm covered right now because I don't have a detox in my area. Okay, my number one priority at all times is newcomers. The rest of you got your tools. You got what you need right now. They don't. You're okay. They're not. I love hanging out with you, but they need me. Does that make sense? And I have to think outside. Okay. Well, I don't have this available. So how am I going to do this? That doesn't mean give up. That means we've got to be, we're smart fucking people. 12-step calls are fun, man. They are. They're, I don't want to call them fun. What's the word they use? Satisfied? Yeah, satisfaction. Okay. It is. It's deeply satisfying to go home at 2 o'clock in the morning And you can drive because you're not drunk. So it's weird. It is. 12-step calls we need more of them. To watch the eyes, okay, to watch the eyes of men and women open with wonder. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part because I know what it means to live in the darkness. I know the dangers there. Okay. I know the pit of morass. I know what it feels. I lived there for years in the darkness. I was created in the darkness. I can see in the dark. I know what happens in the dark. I'm used to the dark. I am. It's where I grew up. Okay. So when I help this person and I see them open that door of willingness in step 2, that's where it happens. And the sunlight from the other side of the door hits their face and they go, I can sleep well tonight. I can now sleep well tonight. Why? Because I was available. That was it. I was available. I don't care if this person ever remembers my name. None of that matters to me. But seeing them recover is the most amazing thing in the world. It's an experience you must not miss. Okay? What happens when, do you know what happens to me when I see that? It brings me right back to when I opened the door. Brings me right back. See, that's the good thing about PTSD. Is sometimes the good things make me feel like I'm right there also. PTSD does that to me also. My PTSD doesn't see good and bad and things like that. No, it does it to me on both sides. Have you ever noticed that? See, there's an equilibrium to everything. I don't know where all this information is coming from right now. To see their lives quickly fill with new purpose and meaning, to see whole families reassembled, to see the alcoholic outcast received back into his community in full citizenship, and above all, to watch these people awaken to the presence of a loving God in their lives. These things are the substance of what we receive as we carry his AA message to the next alcoholic. These are the things that I receive for doing what it is that I do. I told you not to play with that. He's been on a roll too. I was going to the bathroom and he literally knocks down the door, walks in and goes, meow. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. See, it's just sticking to me everywhere I go, everything that I do. Hi. Have you been needing some love today? Yes, everybody needs some love. He's like, stop touching me. I want to go outside. All right. Okay, that's enough. Out. Nor is this the only kind of 12-step work. Now, there's all sorts of 12-step work. All sorts. Okay. Service. Well, okay. Service work and 12-step work are different. The 12th step is not service work. It is the 12th step. The 12th step is helping other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Okay? The service work is running meetings, chairing meetings, emptying ashtrays, being a greeter, hosting, co-hosting, chairing. There's a lot of being a treasurer. This is service work, okay? We tend to think that the 12th step is service work. It is not. It is the 12th step, and it is different. Is sponsoring service work? No, it is the 12th step. It is separate. The 12th step is part of recovery. Service is the 12 traditions. Keep those two separate. Keep them separate. I know they look a lot alike, but they're not. You get different things out of this. Okay? So you got because you got to do both these things during the day. It's kind of like 90 and 90. Well, I did 90 meetings in 30 days. Well, you still got 2 months to go. There's 2 rules to that. There's a meeting every day for 90 days. That's what that means. What are we trying to do? I always like to explain it. We're trying to get you used to going to meetings every day because you drink every day and you need to go to meetings every day, and we want you to get used to that. That's why we're doing that. Consistency. We want to see your face. Nor is this the only kind of, we sit at AA meetings and listen. Not only do we receive something ourselves, but to give reassurance and support, which our presence can bring. So when we speak in a meeting, we are doing 12th step work. Okay? Here's a good way. 12th step work, mouth. Okay? Service, hands. Does that help? Right? 12th stepping, mouth, heart, tummy, service work, action, hands, doing something. Okay. If our turn comes to speak at a meeting, we again try to carry AA's message. Whether our audience is one or many, it is still 12th step work. I am doing 12th step work right now. I am carrying the message. 12th step work. Okay. I'll stop driving that home. I promise. I'll do my best to stop driving that home. There are many opportunities, even for those who feel unable to speak in meetings or are so situated cannot do much face-to-face 12-step work. I may be wrong I may be wrong here. I think I am. I'm not going to keep reading. I don't necessarily agree. But that's okay. We can be the ones who take the unspectacular but important tasks that make 12-step work possible. Perhaps arranging for the coffee and cake at the meetings, where so many skeptical, suspicious newcomers have found their confidence and comfort and laughter and talk. This is 12-step work in the very best sense of the word. Freely ye have given, freely give. Freely ye have received, freely given is the core of this the core of this part of step 12. All right. So I guess I'm wrong. I'm slightly wrong on that. So that's okay. We often pass through 12-step experiences where we seem to be temporarily off the beam. These will appear as setbacks at the time, but will be seen later as stepping stones for better things. For example, we may set our hearts on getting a particular person sobered up, and after doing all we can for months, we see him relapse. I learned my lesson on this when I was 19. Okay. The first thing they taught me when I went and got my CAC, which is Certified Alcohol Counselor, the first thing they said was never work harder than the client. Never work harder than your sponsee. Ever. You're going to want to. You are. It's your codependency. It happens to me all the time. Quite often I got to keep my damn mouth shut because they need to live their life, man. I'm not going to tell them what to do. I'm not their dad. I'm not their father. Just ask my kids. I'm squirming at that. Okay. So I'm not. I think I'm doing all right. Okay. So I'm not going to take this as a setback. In fact, if they come back, if they go out and slip and come right back, You know what's going to actually happen with me? They're going to get a little more respect. Because they came back. And I know how fucking hard that is. I'm actually going to respect them more. That's how I feel. Because I know what it's like. And I know how I would have wanted to be treated. Because I know the amount of shame. And even with our own AA friends, we feel the shame. We can't help it. Okay. Or it may, we see him relapse. Perhaps this will happen in succession of cases, and we may be deeply discouraged as our ability to carry the AA's message. Okay. I just got to give you a heads up. I've had sponsees die from relapse, from going back out. I've had, I was just talking to my wife the other day, and I said, we have too much death in our lives, man. Too much death. She's a caretaker. I work with alcoholics. We have a lot of death in our lives. And it is not easy to deal with. It's always tough, man. No matter how well we've gotten to know these people. Because we're the kind of people, like my wife as a caretaker, our job, and I back her on this, is to make their life the best possible life in the world. That's what we're going to do. And because of that, we get to know them very well. Okay? People that my wife take care of tend to live longer. She'll start somewhere. They're like, yeah, they said that they're going to die in 2 weeks. 6 months later, they're still around. Okay? But it's not on us. That's playing God. I can hear my cats going crazy out there. Or we may encounter the reverse situation in which we are highly elated because we have been successful. Here, the temptation is to become rather possessive of these newcomers. Perhaps we try to give them advice about their affairs, which we really aren't competent to give or ought not give at all. When it comes to relationships, not anymore. No, she's not. We've decided no more hospice. It's too much. It's too much. We did our share. She did her share. At the same time, we say that, but we will go wherever God says we're going. That's our life. That's what my wife and I do. We go wherever God calls us. So she is the best wife in the world for me. Okay. Because everybody has the best wife in the world, right? So it's the one right for you. She is. She's my other half. Okay. And I knew this the day I met her in 1987. So, all right, but a great deal. Okay, then we are hurt or confused when the advice is rejected or when it is accepted and brings still greater confusion. By a great deal of ardent 12-step work, we sometimes carry the message to so many alcoholics that they place us in a position of trust. This is where I have to be careful because I do a lot of stuff. I come across as very, very confident. I am pretty confident, actually. My self-esteem is much better. Do I go through stuff? Sure I do. Well, I'm just honest with myself. But when it comes down to it, I'm very, very stable. I am. There's not much you can do to me. I do not take much credit on outside forces when it comes to negativity. I don't. Okay. But I do not want anybody to rely on me. No, those days are over. I try to play God. Number one, the pay is horrible. It doesn't pay worth shit. Everybody's ungrateful. Nobody listens. I'm so glad I quit that job. I was horrible at it, and I'm glad somebody else took it over that was much better suited than me. Because now I can do what I'm supposed to do, which I find a lot better than playing God. I don't want power over anyone. I don't want to be able to make a decision for somebody's life. No, I don't know. By a great deal of ardent 12-step work, where sometimes carry the message, okay, they make us, let's say, the group's chairman. Here again, we are presented with the temptation of the overmanaged things, and sometimes the result in rebuffs and other consequences which are hard to take. I get this a lot, and it pisses me off. Oh, Dion's here. Will you do it? No. You do it. I always do it. Right? And why do I do that? Okay? Because I am not the leader of the group. No one, God's the leader of the group. And that's what I want. No, I do not want to be specialized and be set aside. That drives me fucking crazy. In fact, if you do that to me, what goes through my mind is stop treating me differently. I am like everyone else. I just happen to have been doing this for a very long time. Okay? I know what I know because I did the fucking work. Years and years and years and years of work, of being poor, of scraping by, of wondering if I'm going to get my meds, and all this other stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Michelle. I do get tired of that. So there are a lot of times when I say, no. Hey, Dion, can you chair today? Nope. And I don't give a reason why. People always like, no, I can't because no. And if you ask me like, why? Because I chair a lot and I think somebody else should deserve a chance. Because I know if that person over there chairs, we're going to get a different meeting and it's going to work because it was done by God. I want that. Sometimes I want to sit back in the meeting and relax and pick my nose like everybody else in the meeting instead of going through our 3:00 meeting. I spend the first 20 minutes booting people out. I'm not in the meeting. I mean, I am. I'm here. I'm listening, but it's hard to do both of those at the same time. So sometimes I get frustrated. It's like, are you co-hosts going to fucking help me or what? Somebody will come in, I'll have like there'll be 5 co-hosts, and they'll be sitting there. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you not like me? All right. We all have our nuances. I wonder what I would do if I went in and they didn't co-host me. I'd probably be like, you need to co-host me. See, how can you live a life when you want both? I'm just talking now. I'm not doing anything. Just I notice these things, and to other people, to outside people, it must look like sometimes we're talking backwards or so, that we say the opposite, but there are a ton of paradoxes in the program, and they're true. So I look for these other paradoxes in life to see if they kind of match up. So they don't always, but sometimes I do find a paradox of, it's kind of like, the paradox. Here's one. And it's one I bring up quite often. It's the walk and talk. Before, I used to run my mouth about all the great things I was going to do. Now, I go do them and then I start to talk about them. And that's the difference between now and then. Why do you think your ninth step worked so well? Okay. Sometimes I'll go to a meeting and I'll listen to my sponsees and they will talk about things that they didn't talk to me about that they went and did. Like, oh, yeah, I decided I was going to go bake a bunch of men's. And I'm over there going, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I know what we're talking about next week. Keep your fucking mouth shut. I didn't tell you to do that. No. Think on that. What did I just say? I did not tell him to do that. Okay. So what's the discussion? It isn't going to be, I didn't tell you to do that. Why did you go do that? No, the discussion is going to be, what was the thought process that had you do that? Because who says I'm right? How do I know that God did not send this person a message and I am wrong? Okay. I'm just a guide. Okay. It seems like when I assume something like that, I tend to be wrong. Okay. There's a difference between me assuming something and my intuition. And it usually has to do with how I feel about that person. So I got to be careful on that. I got to be careful. All right. My friend Johnny's chairing today, and I always get there 15 minutes early because it's the only time I get to see the dude, and I love him. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Ingrid, Michelle, you know, you two have been so consistent with me, and even when bullshit goes down, you continue to hang with me. And I love the fact that, you know, just because people go, I want them to come back. Of course, I'm not angry with anyone. I'm not, but I know what it's like. I know what it's like. And sometimes I love my friends so much that I will allow them to beat me up a little bit if it means that they're going to get where they need to get to. I might do that. Gary, I'd continue going on, but I'm heading to a meeting. It's been 33 minutes, but thank you for being here too. You've been very consistent with me also. I appreciate that. So thank you everybody for being here. I hope you have a great Saturday. Remember that gratitude is always going forward. Okay. That means we give it to the newcomers. I'm grateful they're there. Why? Why? Let's remember why. Number one, it reminds me that it doesn't work out there. And number two, I once again get to experience watching somebody put their life back together. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. Now I understand why everybody helped me. I get it. I get it. And it was totally selfish, and I'm okay with it. I love you. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I love you. Peace out.